Hello everyone, happy Monday. I am coming on this afternoon. I'm outside waiting to go into a doctor's appointment. And yesterday I received news of a friend who I had not been close with in many years, but received news that she had passed away. And she was only 50, had just turned 50 years old, guys. And it's affected me in like a couple different ways. As I'm connected with a lot of people who loved her dearly, in a circle I used to have as friends. Hey guys, hello from Kenya. Hi everybody. Hi. Hello. And as this morning, as I'm processing, and kind of just thinking about her and thinking about life, just thinking about life, guys, tomorrow is not promised. And I think so oftentimes we are guilty of taking our lives for granted. And as I think about her family, and I think about her children, and I think about, she has a brand new grandbaby, and you can't help but to just feel like it's just tragic, like it was just a sudden death. It was not expected. She was not sick, and then to be here one day and gone the next, right? And she's very loved by people that I love, right? Like I said, I hadn't been close to her. We were still connected. We would chat here and there and talk here and there, but we weren't like really, really close. But I loved her, and I loved so many of the people that she loves and that love her. We were, a very close circle. And it's like when I'm thinking, about her family, and I'm thinking about her life, right? That it's just been cut so short. 50 is young. Guys, 50 is young. And James says, I'm an empath, girl, do not make me cry, right? Guys, I'm trying. So as I was just thinking and processing this morning, I've had a hard time working this morning, just kind of like, thinking and taking all of this in. And like I say, just hurting for those that are so close to her, hurting for her family and for the friends that were like family. I have lost so many people in my life. I've buried my mother, my father, my sister. And grief, you guys don't ever really hear me talk about grief very much. You don't ever really hear me. I haven't come on and done live videos about grief or loss or abandonment or these types of subjects. And it's because it's one of those areas, guys, where I struggle, right? It's one of those areas for me where I have had so much loss in my life that you're not hearing me teaching about it. You're not hearing me preaching about it. You're not hearing me trying to lead in that area, if that makes sense, right, guys? Because it's just such a hard subject for me. It's such a hard death, and grief are a theme in my life. And I had to get to that place where I recognized that it was a theme, that it's something that I've gone through a lot. That's different seasons in my life of a lot of loss from the time I was a little girl. And so my message this morning is really just pretty clear. It's pretty simple, that tomorrow is not promised. And I thought about how we can tolerate too much. We can stay in situations too long, where for those that are tolerating relationships or people that have expired a long time ago, we do these things thinking like you have forever. You have all these years ahead of you. You got time. You're giving it time. You're trying to work it out. And I think one of the things that I want to say today is that life is precious and tomorrow's not promised. And if there are people, places, and things that are occupying your precious time and energy that are not serving where you really want to go and what you want to do with your life, you're going to have to get crystal clear about making some changes in your life, making some decisions and some choices that are going to serve where you really want to be, who you want to be, where you want to go. I'm not saying that those choices are easy, guys. I'm not saying it's easy. But I am saying that if you know your life has an expiration date on it and you don't know when that day or time is going to come, then you would start living your days differently. You would start making choices based on what you really want to do with these days that God has given you while you're on earth. That you're going to have to get really intentional, really focused. You're going to have to get very determined about what it is you want to do, who you want to be, the kind of people you want to be surrounded by, who do you want to be like, who your influences are going to be, what you spend your days doing and feeling and thinking. Like, you're going to have to get really selective about that. Because at the end of the day, if you knew you only had 2 years to live, or you knew that, next week your time's up, what would you do with this last week of your life? What would you do with the last year of your life? What would you do with the last 2 years of your life if you knew that on this day is the last day? And nobody knows what that exact date is. But one thing that has an expiration date is time. It's the one thing that all of us, you don't know how much time you've got. And you've got to get intentional. Yes, Carla, you got to get intentional with your time, because you don't know. To every woman and man is a time to be born and a time to die. And you don't know what that day is, what that time is. Do you think anybody wakes up today thinking, this will be my last day on earth? This will be the last day I take breath. This will be the last day I get to hug my babies. This will be the last day I get to see my kids. This will be the last day that I get to talk to my friends. This will be the last day that I get to enjoy the blue sky, that I get to... Nobody wakes up knowing that. People wake up on their last day of life not knowing that today's the last day. And while we're up here taking for granted the breath in our lungs, the life we're living, I think that we all, me too, have to get even more intentional. Some of us have to slow down. Some of us got to enjoy the God-given blessings and abundance that we already have. Some of us need to stop and smell the roses. Some of us need to stop and hug on our family, hug on our children, hug on the love and the loving relationships and friendships that you have in your life that you're grateful for. Hi, sweetheart, Miss West. Some of us need to slow down. Some of us need to speed up. Some of us need to get busy doing what we were put on earth to do. It's time for you to run your race. It's time for you to get busy. It's time for you to do whatever God's putting in your heart to do. Tomorrow's not promised. You need to take an inventory of your life, and you need to make some choices and get really intentional about some changes that you need to implement in your life right now. Maybe it's your health, so you can extend your days. Maybe it's your health, your well-being, physical well-being. Maybe it's your mental. Maybe it's your attitude. Maybe it's your spirit. Maybe it's, I don't know. You got to ask yourself these questions for yourself. I know I am. I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm about to be up on 50 here in just a few years. I need to be thinking about where I'm at, where I want to go even more. For me, I got to slow down sometimes. Enjoy my blessings. Enjoy my husband, my children, my puppies. I'm always working on the next thing, the next thing. And while I enjoy that, and that's very productive and very fulfilling for me, I also have to be able to take the time. Because at the end of the day, you don't take money with you. You don't take any of this with you. Nothing, none of this material stuff goes with you. The only thing that is forever is love. That's the only thing that lasts forever, guys, is love. Love is forever. Love never disappears, never goes away. It's never destroyed. Love is forever. Carla says, I feel like I need to speed up. Just knowing where to start is difficult. It's just starting with one small thing, honey. One small thing. It's just making up your mind, following the nudges where God is showing you, giving you an idea. It's following up on that idea. It's taking the next step and the next step, just one step at a time. One step at a time. That's all. Not getting overwhelmed, trying to take on too much at once. It's just one step at a time. It's the things that we're consistent about that bring about changes in our life. It's consistency. Anyway, tomorrow's not promised. It's not. And I think that at the end of the day, we deserve to give ourselves every chance at happiness. You deserve to give yourself every chance at love, abundance, physical well-being, mental health. That your days on earth don't have to be hell. They don't have to be suffering. You can make up your mind. Thank you, Two Hearts. You can make up your mind to live better. You can make up your mind to do better. Is it easy? No. It's not easy. Is changing our ways easy? It's not. It's not. Is making new choices, letting go of some people, holding tighter to others, is it easy? It's not, guys. It's not easy. Choosing you, it's not easy. Letting go of old ways, renewing your mind, forgiving yourself, forgiving others so that you can move on and set yourself free. It's not easy. Not at all. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's what you have to think about. Is it worth it? I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine before I came live. And we were talking about the work. We were talking about the sacrifice involved. The sacrifice involved with your personal evolution, with your personal work. The sacrifice that's involved with facing your fears, right? I know for sure that my life is a direct manifestation of my internal work, my internal healing, my internal surrendering, my internal giving myself over to God, my internal inventory, constant analysis, constant healing, constantly that reflection, looking at self. What needs to change in me? What needs to change in me, right? And my life is a direct reflection of that. There's a lot of people, with money, guys. People have money, but it doesn't mean they're happy. That's why our company's called Abundant Life Path, right? Because abundant life is the goal. It's not just money. It's not just this. It's not just that. It's a well-rounded, well-lived, fulfilled life where you are healthy, mind, body, and spirit, that you are prospering, mind, body, and spirit, that you are, right? That's the goal. Does everybody have that? No. Because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to live abundantly. It takes a lot to work through your own junk to get to the point where you can have clarity and peace and operate from a place of faith. Faith, faith, faith. Do you understand that in order for your life to change, faith has to be a lifestyle? It's not lip service. Faith has to be something that is operating in your life every day, that you are walking by faith, literally seeing and talking by faith, that you're operating from a place where it's not that you're fearless. It's not that you're fearless. I'm scared all the time, but it's that you overcome your fear. You work through the fear. You give fear a deadline. You press through. You press through your conflict. You press through confusion. You press through all your doubts and insecurities. You press through. That's faith. It's not that you're not scared. It's not that the fear doesn't exist. It's that we push through the fear to get to the other side. We don't stop moving. We don't stop progressing. We keep pursuing the mark. We keep flowing with God into that next level, overcoming all of our own issues and junk and mess that is so easily trying to hold you back from where you really are supposed to be. Abundant life is the goal. Abundant life is the goal. And it's so easy to get caught up. So easy to get caught up. But Jaleesa says, give fear a deadline. I love that. I have a whole video called that over on YouTube, guys. It's called Give Fear a Deadline. You can look that one up over on my YouTube. So listen, I got to go into my doctor's appointment. I just wanted to come on because this is on my heart. And I think that a lot of us have to stop acting as if we have all this time on this plane. You don't know when your time on this plane before you transition into the next existence. We don't know how long we have on this plane. Tomorrow is not promised. You got some stuff to do, right? You got some stuff God needs you to do. You were put here on earth for a greater purpose. You were put here on earth for a greater calling. There's some things you're chosen to do with this time that you have on this plane. And it's time to get to work. It's time for you to take it and put it into execution. It's time. Two hearts. It takes courage to be happy. Courage is not the absence of fear, but fear overcoming. Yes. Yes. It takes courage. It's going to take you having to face all the mess when you look in the mirror and say, I am going to deal with me so that I can prosper. So that I can stop getting in the way. So I can get out of my own way. And let the flow of abundance come into my life. All right, guys. I love you. Blessings and abundance. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Make sure you get signed up for the Work Masterclass. We start tomorrow. There's still a couple spots left. We start tomorrow. Get in. It's not too late. Get in, get in, get in. Hit the link in this video. Make sure you get into the Work Masterclass so you can learn life skills. The stuff that we're teaching inside of Masterclass, guys, are life skills that we use. I literally go through a healing process and use these tools every year in my life. Healing is not a one-time thing. I'm talking about the process of always taking inventory, right? Always taking inventory. That's what you're going to learn inside of healing class. You're going to learn that the life skills of how you start living abundantly through constantly evaluating and being a work in progress at all times, right? Doing the work necessary to keep elevating, 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 right? All right, guys, blessings and abundance. Make sure you get into class. Love you. Bye-bye.